What's going on, y'all? This is Brandon, aka the PortCity Attorney. Today, we're going to be reacting to a video from the Lackluster channel titled Deaf Man Tased for Not Complying. Let's get after it.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. On May 25th of 2019, John Kelly and his wife had a disagreement and were communicating via sign language on the side of a road.
Listen, I better not see some silly charge like disturbing the peace or something like that. Let them argue as long as it doesn't turn into a domestic dispute via sign language. That's the best way to argue. Nobody else got to hear it. So I better not see that.
Someone who saw John and his wife signing to each other mistook their communication and called 911
Mistook it for what? Like they're throwing up gang signs?
to report a possible physical disturbance. Soon after, 3 officers of the San Marcos Police Department approached John from the side.
Bro, you know when there is a cowboy wielding a gun in the police badge, they're going to be on some stuff. I mean, they're going to get after it. Probably not in a good way.
Sides and behind, yelling for him to stop, before 2 officers tase him in front of his wife and several of their children. With his back to the officers and unable to hear the commands, John is kicked twice in the side by a 3rd officer.
Bro, okay, I know we're 50 seconds into this, and so there's not a whole lot of information that's come out, but officers are trained, or they should be trained, in de-escalation, right? Unless they walked up and he was actually physically assaulting her, they had no probable cause to make an arrest or even detain him. They had a call that there was some sort of a domestic disturbance, but their reasonable suspicion, that's all that was in order to approach them. They didn't have any probable cause to make an arrest or even to detain him. The fact that they immediately told him to get down to the ground, didn't inquire about the situation at all, didn't try to have a discussion with either of them, just came out, taser guns blazing, is an issue.
Behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Do it now. Okay.
Dude, where's his wife? Why is she not yelling in the background? Yeah, they're mad at each other. They're arguing. That's what married couples do. But why isn't she saying, hey, he's deaf. Stop assaulting him? How insane is this?
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back, sir. All right, grab his hands. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
Stand up after you just got done assaulting and kicking and tasing him. This is freaking insane to me.
Stand up. Roll over. Grab his hand. Just get on your stomach. Around. Just have him stand up. I think he's cooperative. Let me see your hands. Hands. Let me see your hands. I think he's gonna cooperate.
I'm glad there's at least one cop saying, let him stand up. I think he's going to cooperate. This is insane, right? They have no probable cause for arrest. He even says, I think he's going to cooperate. That being said, they don't even have friggin' probable cause. They're not even reasonable suspicion that he was not complying. They were called there for domestic disturbance. Yeah, those are highly sensitive matters. And a lot of police officers, if a cop is going to get shot at, it's going to happen on a domestic disturbance more times than not. So I understand their caution, but you're in broad daylight. He's not barricaded in a house or anything. How crazy is this situation? If I were an attorney for this man, we would be suing that department for violating his civil rights.
Come here. Hey. He's not being compliant. Look at me. Hey. Look at me. Sit.
John attempts to tell the officers that he is deaf, and eventually one figures it out and hands him a notepad and a pen.
Common sense is not always common. Just not. Was bro just signing? Are you serious? You know sign language? What is going on? Where are we? What is going on here?
Go back! No! But Tampa! Go back! Go back! Look at him! Go back! Look at him! Hey! Hold it. Give me your name.
John was never handcuffed and was not charged. After
Yeah, there's no reason. There's no reason to charge him. That's crazy.
the officers confirmed that no physical assault took place, he was released from the scene after being treated by paramedics, after which he would later go to the hospital for treatment of injuries resulting from the incident. The 3 officers involved wrote in their incident narratives that Kelly had tucked his hands under his torso, but the footage shows John with his hands up by his head both times that he is on his stomach, which appears as though he is bracing himself for another kick to his ribs. John says he was trying to gesture to the police and show them with his hands that he wanted to write, to communicate. A federal lawsuit filed in May of 2021 accuses the city of San Marcos and the 3 officers of violating Kelly's civil rights in the Americans with Disabilities Act.
What did I say? I haven't seen this. This is blind react. That's exactly in the 3 minutes and 40 seconds I've been watching this. I knew that there was a complaint that he had an action potentially for violation of his civil rights. This is a terrible situation.
The suit claims that, quote, no attempt was made by police to communicate with John in a manner in which he could understand, despite him signing that he was deaf. No extra steps or precautions were taken by SMPD before they deployed a taser and kicked John. This case is scheduled to go to trial in September of 2023. All 3 officers remain employed by SMPD and have all completed a 4-hour course on interacting with drivers who are deaf or hard of hearing.
Yeah, so Lackluster Channel does a really good job of breaking down what happens in a video and asking really appropriate questions, right? And so I like their format, and I totally agree with them. I want to know why the SMPD Police Department decided that tasing somebody was their first escalation of force, right? Anybody who has any training in law enforcement, I was in the military, anybody has any training in the military knows that there's an escalation of force, right? In the military, we said show, shove, shout, shoot, or shout, show, shove, shoot, something like that. Basically, hey, before you put hands on somebody, you need to attempt to communicate with them to let them know what is happening. And if they don't, if force needs to be escalated, you slowly and incrementally escalate that force. Now, the city is, being sued. They're going to be in some hot water. I don't like that they only were required to do a 4-hour course. There's inherent issues with rolling up on a suspect and immediately drawing a form of non-lethal force, right? You got hands, you got other tools. The fact of the matter is that this individual could have been seriously injured. Tasers, while they are non-lethal or less than lethal, they're sending a current of electricity through your body. So if you had a heart condition on top of that, it could have ended up really badly. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that based on this footage that the individual, the deaf man, should be able to recover monetary damages from the city? Thank you for stopping by. Check us out again. Until next time.
Big verdict.